Oh. Greetings, everyone. Having a few issues here, so bear with me here. Trying to get my space set up again, and I'm having to go through finding out where I was exactly set so I could do these videos and stuff before. But what I want to do is show you some of the things I'm going through here lately as I get back to my space and get back on here and trying to be a little more active according to my own platforms rather than just visiting everybody else's sites. So as I get back into routine, as I'm healing and recovering from lung cancer, gaining more energy, strength, and weight, becoming more active, I'm finding myself a lot busier than I thought I would be after taking 8-9 months off from this stuff. And so I wanted to get on and show you what all is going on. Some of you are familiar with the things I've been going through with YouTube and PayPal and a recent scam I had to deal with. And oops. So I wanted to show you, this is my second profile on Facebook. This is something I created after I had the dispute with Facebook itself about use of the legal name, because I was using El Hotep-Sekhemwy Pharaoh at one time. And through their system, and I have yet to figure this one out, but they said I couldn't use a fictitious name or a pen name. I had to use the legal name, which is synonymous with a pen name, a fictitious name. So we turned around and created another profile, and on it we have the fruits from the poisonous tree as our main profile pic. And of course we've got this nice little character here, you know, wearing his proper and appropriate natural mask during the pandemic. And his name is Kieth, I before E except after C. And then lit, L instead of little. So it's just a pen name, a fictitious name that can certainly be seen as fictitious. And they did nothing about it, despite the fact that they did something about my other profile. So here it is. It's been sitting here for 2 years. And I have minimal information on it. I just recently posted a few things here. But prior to that, you will see that I don't really have a lot posted on this page. But what is posted is very important. Proverbs 22:26. And this is in the ESV and not the King James Version, simply because I like the wording better. But generally I refer to the King James Version of the Bible. Be not one of those who give pledges, who put up security for debts. In other words, you're allowing the debt and securitizing yourself. Be not thou one of them that strike hands, or of them that are sureties for debts. Okay? Don't be striking hands. That's a handshake. That's a contract. You don't contract at all. There's no need to contract. Freely is given that which is given freely, and He gives us freely everything, and therefore we're supposed to freely give back. Okay? Here you see my text as I designed. The purpose of a alternate account is so that when they try to ban me on one account, I can still get the voice out, the word out, on another account. I'm not one that has all kinds of different accounts running from one account to another. This is just a second account that I've had for a number of years, and because they're giving me issues with YouTube and I see things tightening up on many platforms, I'm showing everybody this platform so that if they do try to strike me on Facebook because of current issues with YouTube, StreamYard, and the rest of the international forum, and I am pushing hard, people. I don't know anybody else that pushes hard like I do. I speak to the UN. Do you? And so when I put my script out, it's just like the native peoples. When you read their writings and their agreements and stuff, they put it out in their language first, and then they restate it. A restatement of facts in another language in accordance to the people that you're negotiating with. Okay? That way it's said once and then said twice. So if you need it said a third time, it dismisses all possibility of not comprehending. I said it in my language and your language in writing. Now I can speak it in your language too. Would you like to learn how to speak my language? If so, great. Let's go to Scripture. Oh, wait a minute. Beneficiaries. Legacy heirs of his will. That sounds like a pretty good closing statement. I hope you guys are catching on. So then we have, and you'll notice it's Keith Orland, Conrady-Little. Keith-Orland is the first, the given name, and we're to put down childish things when we become an adult and take upon the adult name, the new character. Okay? Comprehend that given name is both the first and the second name that you are given. One is your child name that you use when people are teaching you how to grow. And then the Orland is the name that you use as you learn to teach. Conrady-Little was the given birthright name attached with the adoptive name. And then it says with freedom of patent. Patent being what is plainly observable, not that which is latent and can be covered up, like by a cover of a book. It covers up the story. I, Keith, sole beneficiary, heir of heaven, hereby express the inherent will written into mine heart to be loved and let alone, and to right that which or what is wrong without more. Very simple. I hope you guys are paying attention. It is my will to be let alone from the personal matters of commercial nature, for he is a respecter of no persons. It is my will to be let alone so that if approached I may turn and leave or pass by unfettered. It is my will to right that which is wrong, for equity regards as done what should have been done. This is my will as I have faith that it is the will of our Father which art in heaven. Let my yea be my yea and my nay be my nay. Okay? Then we also have absolute now time security note. It is a private, unique identifier. No one else has that number. Folks, if you copy paste this number from this profile, you will get to another site. Somehow it's not letting me copy here. Let's go back. Don't know what this is about, but this is a simple copy paste, right click, and it's not letting me. It's dismissing immediately. So let's go over to the other profile. And we'll just pull up the site. Now on this site, this is my custom site that I customized myself. And when you go there, it will say not secure. Because we're not dealing in securities. And therefore it is a custom site. And thus the cybersecurity takes command. It's private. Custom. Okay? So as we go to the faith-based union page, you will see public notice. And you see this on the header of every page. Hiring an attorney proves one is incompetent. Realize with your real eyes. And there's that absolute now time security note, the private, secret, or unique identifier. This is an epoch time. Then this stands for the universal public notice, which is identified here. Public notice, and it's on the internet. So it's universal. Anybody on the internet can copy paste this public notice and transcribe it into their own language, no matter what the language is. And then it has 1.120208. This first edition, first copy, August of 2020 is when this was developed. August of 2020. So it's been around almost, 2.5 years. We'll say 2.5 years. The Keith Orland Little FBU. And this is that unique identifier I'm telling you about. You can copy paste this from that other site, from the other profile. You should be able to copy paste this. And then just put it into any search engine. This one here happens to be Google Chrome. And the first thing that should come up is faith-based union with that number. The Keith Orland Little FBU, a private member association. An expression of my living will, public notice, be it known evermore. Hotep secondly shows you the Facebook page, which is the public group. Of Keith Orland Little. And then it shows you the sign that you will see on the Word Wise Warrior page, right there, just below my copyright sigil. And then you'll notice it references Titus 3:8. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Steady my hand. The saying is trustworthy. Go to Titus 3:8, and it talks about the will that our Father's will that He wills us. We are to affirm by our actions. These are the actions that are profitable unto good and profitable unto men. So, a searchable, unique identifier that will bring you to us, the Keith Orland Little FBU, and our platforms. Okay? Again, an absolute now time security note. And it's GOT, grant of trust. Grant of trust. Keith of the first person of I, and third person do grant, El Hotep Second We Pero, itself, of a third person, and beneficiary of said grant, of myself, Keith, and a new name, bringing salvation to Keith Orland Little, and that's misspelled, my apologies, itself. Notice it's not him or her, it's itself, of a second person, because these are personal names. First person, second person, third person. If you hear me call out, and you hear me call out first and last name, I'm calling out to a person and you should not respond. If I call out brother, sister, neighbor, I would expect a response. If I call out the first name, I may not get a response, and that is acceptable because I know somebody might not get it yet. A second person and beneficiary of said grant of myself, Keith. So Keith itself I place as first person. Keith Little is the second person, or Keith Orland Little is the second person. And then that second person created in that name El Hotep Second We Pero. Okay? So let's go to that grant. As I stated on Facebook, that I was forced to do in that capacity, Keith Little, El Hotep Second We Pero. Okay? The use of the legal name Keith Little itself of a second person and beneficiary of said grant of myself, Keith, in trust. And all derivatives and two legal names and beneficiaries. Beneficiaries being any records, the accountings. Okay, let me put this back up so it stabilizes. You don't have to do it with shaky hand. Oops, my apologies. Set it down on the wrong damn thing. So let's figure this out again. Okay. Relatively directly to myself, Keith in trust, and to a beneficiary, because it's going to be a record. Okay, everything is going to go to the record first, with knowledge that itself are marketable titles, relative only to me, intergender, matriarch, first person. That's the passionate side of me. Okay, that's the right side of the brain. Myself, outer gender, patriarch, first person. That's the physical presence. That's the one that's supposed to protect in all instances, whether you're a man or a woman. Same with the matriarch. It's the right side of the brain that controls your passion, whether you're a man or a woman. It's the left side that it's supposed to go through to maintain the logic and reason. And I itself in third person, which is that mind, the left side of the brain. I in third person. Okay? Understand, or under this grant, El Hotep Seconwipero itself is free. There's no cost. You can't charge him because he doesn't exist. Okay? To express his will to do his good works through the hands that he created and cast up in Keith, and that all others too are free to express that will of his pure trust in their legacy. Under this grant, Keith in pure trust under him, having accepted his oath by submerging himself in his living waters of spirituality and everlasting breath of life, do hereby journal. A day's work in every man is worth his weight in salt. You add salt to water, it increases the energy, the electrical current. His word, by the good works of El Hotep Seconwipero, Keith Orland Little, and all derivatives relative directly to Keith. By free will act and his good works of mine hands, I, Keith, entrust Keith Orland Little to operate all affairs of El Hotep Seconwipero for benefit of itself. Be it enacted as my yea is my yea, and my nay, done in good faith, given with freedom of patent. I, Keith, do not write a signature, but rather print my calling, known as my name, in red ink, and assigned as autograph, and affix my seal of my right thumb, also in red ink, to the H in said autograph. It is sufficient as my mark and seal. I, Keith, a living man, hereby gives notice to any and all officials that any trespass upon this document, Declaration of Independence, will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Pursuant to Public Code UCC 3-114, applicable to public officials, this article takes precedent over any pre-printed public or private forms, documents, instruments, or otherwise. This is my literary artwork, folks. Okay? It has the ultimate protection of the Treaty of Berne, and it is in a public forum. It has sat here for 2 years, August 7th of 2020 to August 7th of 2022. It has now been 2.5 years. Sufficient evidence and sufficient publication to have standing in law. Okay? Law of principle applies. Notice to the principal is notice to the agent. Notice to the agent is notice to the principal. Reverently, Keith. And I've since added Chaplain Keith, and this K is lowercase. The address, Keith, address care of Post Office Box, which I no longer have, Republic of Iowa, zip exempt. Okay? This is no longer an address that I use, but if you go to my WordWise Warrior site, I believe it's on the contact page. You will see a physical address, Brother Keith in Ecclesia, care of Joyce. I have yet to go in and correct this, but you should write out care of totally. No abbreviations. 1334 Meadow Lane, Apartment D, Waterloo, Iowa. Notice the Apartment D is on a lower line. You can do that in limited text, but generally it's on the line with a comma next to the street name, which is a street name security, as I've mentioned. And that's why it's care of Joyce. Joyce is the trustee of the street name security, and the beneficiary is the Brother Keith in Ecclesia. And Brother Keith in Ecclesia helps Joyce stick to the law and supersede any trustee above her that would, in the public trust expressed by the city, state, and federal foreign trade zone improvement plan, showing that there's three entities here. The grantor, the trustee, and the beneficiary is in alignment with this beneficiary. This beneficiary cannot make any securities in my name. This trustee will make sure these trustees stay in line, because this beneficiary is going to help her understand the benefactors, the facts. No facts, no phone. Okay? Zoom, feel free to contact me about doing Zooms according to subscription plan, which I have no subscription. It's a free subscription, so it's only 40-minute Zooms. Okay? So I'm limited on the Zooms. I have to change that as well. It's just a matter, like I said, I've got a lot of things going on, and I'm going to show you real quick one of those things. I've already taken care of the messages. Like I said, I had to deal with a matter of fraud, so I've already taken care of all these messages. You see this one here, 9 weeks, and then all of a sudden we go to 4 days ago. So I've already taken care of these messages on this profile, and I'm already getting more. That is inconsequential to what we see on the notifications, guys. These are all friend requests. This is what I've got to deal with. You know, and I don't go and just start clicking on them. I've got to go to each one of these profiles in order to help protect you. Just like I had to go through this and deal with that fraud and scam, and I put it out in a video. Marlene Awala and Lynette Nashali. Be aware of them. Watch that video. Check out those names. If they're on your friends list or in the your messenger, get rid of them. It's nothing but a scam. In that video, I showed you how to take care of the scam. But again, you have to have this knowledge, the knowledge. You have to be able, in order to be able to beat these people, both the scammers and the people that are operating this commercial system and don't want to follow what you're telling them. If you know what you're saying, they will follow, and this electronic record operates immediately. It's much more efficient than the definitive paper mail system that we've been used to operating on. I urge people to learn this electronic system and learn how to give them notices both on the electronic email and then giving them a private call. Again, I did everything through the private email. This is not it. This is a .com email. So, like I said, I've got to change that and the address thing in regards as it relates to care of. You know, so there's some things I've got to change. In the meantime, one of the things I did change is on the home page, there's a donate button. Okay, this donate button is a shareable PayPal link that even if you don't have PayPal, any card you wish to share some love with, you can use on this link here. And when you click on it, it'll come up and show you this. Okay? Showing that it's free education, and it's a monthly donation if you want. You donate with PayPal. It's donate with debit or credit. It's recognized on the page itself as a donation. And this is what I was explaining earlier about PayPal saying it's a business account, because that's the only way they can recognize it. But by recognizing it as such, they count it as a taxable account. How can you tax a donation? See, this is one of the things I'm having to dispute with them currently. It's been going on for 2 years. However, when it comes to the things where people are scamming me, those communications go well because I'm able to show how it's a scam against them as well. Okay? So think about this stuff, people, and realize I'm a busy guy in all these forums, and I'm trying to do my best to keep up. I've lost. There have been a few people that have lost interest, and my deepest and sincerest apologies. I don't know what else to do. So please be patient and know that there is nothing more valuable than that which is true. What is done is what ought be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. Nothing. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. I love you, but remember, I don't give a fuck if you love me back. That's up to you. My duty is to love you and show it by my actions and my words. God bless. Have a good day.